Hello and welcome to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson, for a quick episode about Nozick's experience machine. There have been many fictional explorations of the idea of a virtual reality so enticing that people do not wish to leave. One of the Dunsany stories, which we aren't going to cover, is of this type, although the protagonist is schizophrenic rather than using a mechanical aid to create the fantasy world. The first person to make waves with a philosophical paper on the subject was called Nozick, or Nozick possibly, I've only ever read it, in which he presented the thought experiment of the experience machine. Nozick's experiment briefly goes like this. Imagine you could be placed in a fail-safe machine where you lived an illusion that was indistinguishable from the real world. You could program the machine to give you a life of perfect happiness, even if, for you, perfect happiness implies overcoming challenges and obstacles. You could program those in. You might not know you were in the machine, or you might pick if you know. It doesn't matter. His question is, why do so many people not want to hook themselves into the machine, even if they are utilitarians who, theoretically, believe that happiness is a measure of societal good? Nozick presents three answers. The first is that we want to do certain things, not simply have the experience of doing them. His second is that we want to be certain kinds of people, and floating in a tank makes us an indeterminate blob. His third is that being in the machine limits us to a man-made reality, cutting us off from the deeper reality. So, thinking on this model and assuming that Arcadia is an experience machine, at least the easily accessible parts of Arcadia, does this explain why House Yarburton loathe it so much? In Arcadia, you cannot make art, be an artist, or respond to the real world with interpretation.